Hello everybody and welcome to the first installment of Skyrender Studios video game review. My name is Michael aka Mizco and today we're here with Lichdom Battlemage. Lichdom Battlemage was recently fully released on August 26 of 2014 via Steam, amidst a quiet few rounds of alpha and beta testing. The game was developed by the little-known, fairly new, and fairly small Xavient Studios. In my opinion, the game is impressive in its own rights, but there's still a number of things that really bother me. One of those things is not that the game features the CryEngine 3 game engine by Crytek, which, as hard as it might be to see from my recording with a 550 Ti, lends a gorgeous hand to the game's cosmetics. Conceptually, the game is very strong, and it definitely takes a bit of a refreshing spin on a class beloved by nerds everywhere: the Mage. In this game, there's no mana pool, no cooldowns, and no resources to have to worry about, short of your 3 shields shown on the bottom left. Once those 3 shields are expended, you die and are sent back to the last checkpoint. The class features a main 4 abilities with an innumerable amount of ways to use them. You have your defensive shield, which when timed right, galvanizes your attackers, your offensive missile, which can be altered to a beam or a lob type projectile, and your AoE, or your area of effect attack. You also have a dynamic blink ability to both get you out of tight spots or to use in an offensive nova when charged. There are several different classes of spells, and each ability can be upgraded, modified, improved, and altered via the game's crafting system. That also includes deconstruction for your less useful items, a way to upgrade your more useful ones via sacrificing others, and a way to simply trash the ones you have no use for in an attempt to get something even better called reforging. Let's get down to it. The good points are as follows. This is definitely a refreshing spin on the Mage class without having to worry about mana pool, regeneration, stats, all that junk. I really like how things are left simple enough so you can blow through the game without having to touch too much, but it's also opened up enough for you to customize things to exactly how you like. The spells are dynamic enough for you to want to play around and see what you like best, and there's definitely countless combinations of ways to do things. The game, although it's linear, is well paced, and it does a decent job in rewarding you and keeping you interested. I really like that the boss and mini-boss encounters can definitely be a challenge. I for one died several times on the first main boss before I finally got him down. Now, before I get into the bad parts of this game, I want to thank you guys for watching this video this far. If you like this video, give us a like and subscribe. We'll keep making videos just like it. Promise. And as always, I invite you guys to leave your comments below on whether or not you agree or disagree on my opinions with this game. Trust me, I'll read them. Alright, now for my favorite part, the bad parts of this game. One of my biggest beefs with a linear game is a poor story, and this is a perfect example. This story is incredibly unoriginal, really illogical, and just really random. Like, there's no reason for it. It's just really boring. In fact, every time I see the other 2 main characters show up, I just want them to shut up and go away so I can go about my business ruining people's day. Another thing I didn't like, although I haven't played with it too much, there definitely seems to be some built-in metas for the game, and if you're not careful, you'll find yourself wasting more rare upgrades on useless abilities. Now, if you're not familiar with the term meta, it basically means that there's a cookie-cutter thing that you should do, and it is absolutely the best way to get through the game, and nothing can beat it. Things like that in games drive me nuts, and it makes all the customization completely pointless. The other thing I don't like, the crafting system. It's not very well explained, and it's not very intuitive. They had introductions and tutorials for every other part of the game but the crafting system. They just kind of threw you into that, and it took me wasting a few items to figure out exactly what I was doing. Now, the last thing, as I mentioned before, the game is well paced in action and it's well paced in dishing out rewards. However, the encounters are a little predictable, and with a weak story, I found myself really hard-pressed to find the motivation to actually complete the game. Alright, second favorite part of these videos, my last thoughts. All in all, this game was a decent amount of fun, and it did give me a handful of hours of play before I got that all too familiar sense of, do I really care about beating this game? Now, although the graphics were fantastic, a pretty game doesn't make it a good one, and at their core, games are about the gameplay. Despite the multitude of spells at your disposal, the number of useless spell combinations and spell types in general ultimately made a lot of aspects of this game pretty pointless and left me super bored to want to continue playing it. Sadly, I'm gonna have to give this game a 6 out of 10 with a thumbs down for recommending this game for purchase. My reasons for this are pretty simple. This game violates two of my biggest pet peeves with single-player linear games. One, repetitive gameplay and repetitive combat system that just gets so boring. That's bad enough for any game, single-player linear game or not. And number two, a story that's so plain it may as well not have one at all. Audience retention is just as important in games as it is in movies, especially single-player games. Now, I can't recommend this game because I don't feel that it's worth its current sticker price of $40 on Steam. But, if you're really looking for something slightly refreshing, and it's worth about 6 hours at most of interested gameplay, and you have the money to blow, and you love mages, and you just want to play a really pretty game in the CryEngine 3 engine, go for it. But for the rest of you, as with most of the other single-player games that have come out in the past 2 years, just wait for the Steam sale. Alright guys, thanks for watching. Make sure you like this video and subscribe to us. My name is Michael, aka Mizco, here with Skyrender Studios Video Game Reviews. We'll see you guys next time. Oh yeah, and don't forget to tell us what game you'd like to see us review next.